we're talking about today. Cinderella, Cinderella, night and day, Cinderella. I'm talking about that, y'all, because I watched Cinderella today. And I'm not talking about one of the new ones. I'm not talking about the one with Brandy. I'm talking about the old Cinderella from probably the 30s. Like the first one that I watched, and many other people in my generation, and probably a lot of you watched that Cinderella. And so I watched that Cinderella, and I was able to gain some insight into the Cinderella effect that many women have, even some, other type of people, but many people have the Cinderella effect. And so one of the things I wanted to point out about Cinderella was she was still so compassionate, even in the midst of all her trauma drama. She was still compassionate because there was a scene in the movie where she felt, she was like, oh, she felt sorry for the cat, even though the cat tried to terrorize her, and the cat tried to keep her hemmed up, in the room after the stepmother locked the door. The Duke was at the door, and I mean downstairs, and he was looking for the ladies to come and fit that slipper. And so the stepmother locked her in because the stepmother knew. And that was the other thing. The stepmother was intuitive, number one. The stepmother picked that thing up when she saw her at the ball. And that was one of the things that I looked at. And so what, to me, how that shows up is, the people that are not in your corner, the people that are not for you, always show up and try to block you and stop you in one way or another. And a lot of times you don't even recognize it, because you think that those people are in your corner. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be people on the outside, people that you work with. Different people try to sabotage you because that stepmother knew that Cinderella was way more beautiful than those ugly stepsisters, her children. And so she wanted to try to get her children a leg up. But Cinderella still continued to be who she was, even through all of those circumstances. And one thing about her is she had amazing faith. Amazing faith. Because how could you go through all of that stuff and still be around there singing and, playing with the animals and, and being compassionate even toward the people that were hateful to her, you know. And the thing about her is she carried that joy, even through all of the trauma drama. Some people believe that it has to be like that. Like you have to go through this type of drama. And we've been conditioned to think that that is normal and that's what we're supposed to do. Like we are just supposed to go through trauma. We're supposed to go through drama. And then guess what? Our prince will come. This is what many of us, especially as women, have been conditioned to think. And so it comes from this thing here. I got notes, y'all, but it comes from Cinderella, the Cinderella effect. Another thing about Cinderella that I noticed is it's spiritual. Because like I said, she had to have great faith. And then her spirit guide came, who is her fairy godmother, came to help her to get to her prince. She came to give her that opportunity. And so many times, we will have people in our life that are sent to help us, that are sent to give us the opportunity that maybe we might not have had before. Hello. And also, the fairy godmother was speaking light language when she was doing her magic. Making the horsemen, the mice be the horse, um, all of that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, that thing just hit me, y'all, just so amazingly because I was like, man, this thing is deep and embedded in us. We think, oh, we got to go through all this stuff. We're going to have all this, go through these changes and have all this trauma. And then you know what? Everything's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. But, in Cinderella, she gave us a toolkit, whereas she had the faith, she stayed in, she stayed happy, she stayed in joy, all of that kind of stuff. And so, as we're growing and as we are learning, to actually become and be whoever it is that we are, remove. Thank you. Alrighty. So as we learn and as we grow and as we realize that, We do all have fairy godmothers. They're usually our spirit guides, someone to help us, not always, here in the flesh and all that kind of stuff. So we have them. We also can learn some things about being compassionate and having compassion, even through all of that. Another thing is having faith and knowing that, your prince is coming, that your prince is here, that, you went through all this stuff, but now you know, and now you recognize that all of it wasn't for naught. All of it wasn't for naught. All right. So those are just a few things that I observed from Cinderella. She had faith. She had to have faith because there's no way that she could have gone through all of that stuff without having faith. She had to have it. And she had compassion. She had compassion for even people that didn't have compassion for her and that were trying to harm her. She had compassion. The fairy godmother, she spoke that light language and did her magic. And that was something that, it just kind of hit me. Now, I've seen Cinderella maybe 100, 200 times. It's one of my favorite movies. It always has been since I was a little girl. I love Cinderella. I actually went to the movies to see it. And I've seen it many, many times. But I wanted to bring that forth because I know that a lot of people, you just watch Cinderella, but you don't realize that all of that stuff is going on in that story. All of that stuff is going on in that story. So, anyway, thank you so much for joining. If you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not, why not? Subscribe, hit the button. It don't cost you nothing, it's free. Check out the links in my description. I am an Amazon affiliate. I would love it if you would check out those links and see if there's something in there that you can use. Some of those things are things that I use and links that I'm sharing. Also, I have my Stand Store link, which is my website, in the description as well. You can go on there, browse. I have lots of free tools. I have also some paid stuff. So go on there and see if there's something that you can do and help a budding creator out. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I love Jesus. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I love Jesus. Always have. I don't know why people assume. And the other thing is, too, it's not really your business either. You know what I mean? That's a personal thing. That's a personal relationship. So enjoy your day. I hope everything is magical for you. I'll be back on again tomorrow. And if you are following me on TikTok at Intuitive Tammy as well, I would appreciate that because there I do healing, prayer, and messages from spirit. So thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.